Hey, what's up guys? Another video here. So today I want to talk about the power of money. So money is often described as a medium of exchange, a social signifier, or freedom chips. So I like the last definition, freedom chips, because what money will provide you is freedom of time. So freedom of time is really important because the most finite resource that a human has is his or her time on the earth. So if you're stuck doing something that you don't like for 40 hours a week, then a lot of your day is wasted. So a lot of the days during the week are wasted. And of course, during the weekends, you may have to do some chores or do other things or other obligations. So in essence, you don't have a lot of time left to do what you want to do. So you should really have an end goal in mind. And the end goal can be something like, let's say, this is kind of access, but let's say $2 million so you can have, for example, a 6% dividend on that amount, and that will yield $120,000 a year, and of course that will be taxed, but essentially the gross amount will be $10,000 a month, so you can live a very good life on $10,000 a month. And you should have an end goal in mind. So the power of money, it essentially enables you the freedom of time. So you have to measure how valuable the freedom of time is to you, and essentially how much free time that you need to live a good life and things that you want to do. So you will probably have to sacrifice early on in your life in order to achieve this freedom of time with the power of money. So money is essentially that. It is the freedom of time. So once you accumulate enough funds, enough money, all this time will be freed up and you'll be probably much happier. So I don't know anyone that is really in love with their line of work, but if they are, good for them. But I would say the vast majority of people that are working aren't completely in love with their jobs, and even if they like what they're doing, they may not like the bureaucracy that entails the job and the steps that are required to keep the job, in compliance, things like that. So it's very rare. So if you want that complete freedom of time, you have to first indicate or have a end goal in mind. So this figure can be, for example, $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. So once you achieve this amount, then you can set your systems in place. So you set the assets, the asset allocation where you'll get the regular income, such as dividend income, and then you can set up, for example, your healthcare situation. So after you stop work, you're probably going to stop having employer-sponsored healthcare, so you want to set that up. And then you want to also definitely set a budget. Even though you're having this regular income come in, you definitely want to set a budget so you don't go over that budget. So you'll have to employ the same skills that you were doing when you were younger, and now that you have this large sum of money, you set the same systems in place where you have the budget, you have the cash flow coming in, you have your expenditures, and so forth. So you set up the healthcare situation, you set up the income streams, and now you should be set. And I really highly advise that you clear up the healthcare situation first, because a catastrophic healthcare situation can wipe out millions of dollars potentially. So it's really advisable that you set that up and don't be in a position where you're not prepared if something catastrophic happens. So again, the power of money is very, very powerful in terms of freeing up your time. And again, that's a finite resource that we have. So once we reach this certain figure, as far as your end goal, then you set up your systems in place, and then you'll be able to do what you want to do and still live within the means. But again, if your cash inflow is quite reasonably high, for example, $10,000 a month, it really shouldn't stop you from doing anything. So using money as freedom chips, a social signifier, medium of exchange, however you define it, it is a very powerful tool to essentially, buy time for you. So I just want to recap. You really want to use your time wisely, especially when you're young, so you can have a lot more time in the latter years of your life to really enjoy it and do what you want to do. So that's it, guys, and thanks for watching.